Was that just the worst experience of your life?
Yeah, it's up there.
Do you reckon that was the worst bit of dirt track I've had so far?
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was shit house.
That was so shit.
I hope we never ever have to do that again. That PDR can just go and jam itself for now.
Run at me, jeez. It's getting deep.
Good morning everyone, it is day 6. Josh has already started his bike, just giving it the once over, a new air filter and whatnot. I'm about to do mine, but they're just covered in rubbish. I gave mine a quick hose down, but the reality is it's going to get covered in dust ASAP again. So let's look at the damage before we get going. We've had an awesome night feed. I had 3 meals and we slept good. We had a good time. No complaints there, so we're fresh. We're nearly halfway point of our trip, but let's have a look at this thing. Alright, so let's pull this out. Have a look how bad it is. Oh, that is just putrid. Have a look at that. Looks pretty spotless in there. Look at that, all beautifully clean. Just got a little bit of a spot there coming through, but time to change that. Luckily for a trip like this, I always bring a pre-oiled one. That takes 0 room up. That's my original one. This is a aftermarket one, but we'll put this in here. I'm going to tighten up the chain. That's a new chain, so that needs to be just tightened up by one little notch. And then oil the chain, because it hasn't been oiled that much on this trip. But note to self is get disposable gloves that fit. I don't know where I got these from, but I cannot get them on my hands at all. And I forgot to tell Josh I had them, so his poor hands are covered in oil. Isn't that right, mate? Yeah, for offering them after the fact. Josh just said thanks for offering them after the fact. But anyway, the bikes are good to go now. Let's load up and we'll get going. So the bikes have been checked over. We've got a full tummy. The bike's got fresh lungs. And now we're going to leave our campground at Loyalty Beach Campground. Very, very quiet when we were there, which was unusual, but fantastic for us. Great service. And now we're going to go and suss out a couple of the plane wrecks, because I find that pretty interesting. And then the goal for today is to get to the Frenchmans Track the quickest possible way and see what we can do there. We spoke to the Elwood crew again last night, and they mentioned a marker in the track where we can chuck a right, and we might be able to avoid the main Pasco River crossing and cross it further up. So I'm not aware of that, but when those guys say something, you're absolutely going to listen, because they know the place like the back of their hand. So that's the goal today, and let's see how we go. So here's an old girl, one of the plane wrecks. I've seen plenty of this online, but I've always wanted to come here myself, just to have a look. Like, just imagine being involved in that. No thanks. Pretty crazy. So we've just parked the bikes in front. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool that you can get so close, even though the fence is there. You're effectively right on it, which is pretty rare in Australia normally. It's really cool to see, even though it's obviously a very sad state of affairs for when this happened. A DC-3 aircraft departed Archerfield, Brisbane at 20:39 hours on the 4th of the 5th, 1945. And then crashed at this site at 05:18 hours on the 5th of the 5th, 45, a day later. All those on board who died in a crash, this was erected for them. Pretty crazy. So I'm on the Jardine River ferry heading south. Josh is behind me. We've got a few cars coming on, but I guess to me that's goodbye Cape York. And yeah, really, unless something odd happens in my life, I probably won't be here for another decade or so. Be a long time before I'm back. I've got plenty more to explore, but it's been epic. And now we've got to hunt out the Frenchman's line. We're just about to get to the Frenchman's, and these are the first other adventurers that aren't part of a tour group that we've seen in 7 days. On you boys! They look like they're carrying far more gear than us, but I would have thought there'd be stacks of bikes up here. But this particular week, they are the first group we've seen up here. That's not a tour group, that's just blows my mind, to be honest. But anyway, they're alive, there's others out here. Awesome to know. Well, it's not very well signposted. If you don't have it on your maps, you could easily go past it. But this is the mighty Frenchman's Track. We've been told by 2 tour companies now the Pasco is not crossable by riding, and to look for a drum after the Wenlock and then turn right, and then there is a track called Drug Runners Track. Never heard of it, never been told about it until yesterday and today. So thank you to the 2 tour companies that gave us some advice on that one, and that should allow us to cross the Pasco apparently, but we'll see when we get there. Alright, the excitement begins. After a few hundred kilometres on Bamagar Road, which totally sucked, we're now exploring again and attempting the famous Frenchmans with a bit of local knowledge, so we can at least tick it off the list to say that we've done it. That's the idea. Anyway, so fingers crossed for us that this is doable. Well, according to the maps, the Wenlock River should be right here. We've got a trailer left over there. Is that the entry point? Oh, sussed it because there's a track there too. I don't know, man. So no need to show off. Just gonna baby it down here. And take my time. It's very sandy. Ooh, yeah. Then we're gonna have a little breather before we cross. Well, that looks far shallower than expected. Not too sure what the base is like, but looks pretty good, eh?
Yeah. Looks no more than 20 centimetres.
Yeah, is that what the bloke said too?
No, I didn't ask him.
Yeah, okay. Feels a bit spongy, but a bit of gas. Probably what, straight here?
Yeah, straight through. Should be fine, I reckon.
Here goes Josh. Oh! He's had to hit the accelerator. Definitely boggy. He's done well. I don't know how my big overloaded bike with my fat bum's going to go. Wow. Good work. Alright, so it's my turn. No shame in just having the legs on either side. Oh, and I stored it. That's not impressive. And have my legs to either side. Oh, she hates getting wet. She hates getting wet. Don't know what to expect here. Come on, I hate sand. Come on. Oh yeah. Go bike. Oh, on you Sally. It's not over yet. Climb. Yes. Oh, I love this bike. I did the same thing in the Simpson and wrecked my pannier. I was hooning up here super loose like Starkey, but then I wanted to go up there for whatever reason, but it was too late, and my last minute decision to turn nosedived, and I ripped this off my pannier, which means this is going to bounce around everywhere. Why don't I just keep going straight ahead? Like seriously, no doubt the track still meets. This track's gotten a whole lot better all of a sudden once you get out of that sand, which is still fun. It's just tiring. Yeah, the track's very tight and turny. Definitely challenging though. Probably depends on what part of the trip you're on and how fatigued you are, but loving it. Just got to sort this pannier out. It's bouncing around everywhere, but we don't want to stop right now. that's for sure. But I can feel it going out and then smashing back against my frame of my bike. We just passed a guy who's been riding all over the bloody top end on a DR400E, and he just did the crossing that we're trying to do. Instead it went up to his seat. Now his bike was way heavier than ours and sitting much lower, so it'd be interesting to see if that's the case. That's pretty daunting, but he was flying solo, fucking tough as balls, that bloke. Ah yeah, here's the turn off everyone's been telling us to keep an eye out for, and there's the drum, exactly as mentioned. Pretty cool. I know I keep going on about it, but this track is bloody brilliant. I have no idea why it's not listed on my maps. A part of it is, but not the whole thing. But just flat open fire trail type riding, beautiful bushland. Still keen to see what the Pasco River looks like, but so far just epic. So we just passed a couple of elder gentlemen in a rental car, and they said the river crossing, which is just about to come up, is a piece of piss. So we don't know what to believe, because we've gotten two versions within the last half an hour. Oh, this must be the Pasco River. Oh, she looks like she's flowing. Looks like she's flowing indeed. Well everybody, this is the legendary Pasco. Granted, we're at a bit of an easier section than the real one, but it's going to allow us, and it's all rocky bottom, so that's good. A bit loose underfoot, but this is only probably, well, knee deep at the max, but you could bog down for sure. But this is the route straight up there. I reckon a couple of big rocks here. I reckon here, Josh, there's one big rock here, but it's pretty flat. I'd be more concerned about digging into loose rocks and the current. So I'm going to try and cross. I'm just worried about the loose rock, but try and cross to the left of this flat rock. I don't know if that's the right way, but that's the way I'm going. Ooh, Pasco crossing time. Alright, Josh just goes. It's pretty wide crossing though, but yeah, not too hard at all. Just put the feet on either side and baby it across, really. Obviously it was deeper, different story, but here he goes, here he goes. Oh, oh. Rev, yeah, beauty. He's through. We've done it, the Frenchman has conquered. We're ticking them off one by one. So Josh and I have set up camp. We've got the clothesline hanging again. I've never had such wet clothes on a trip, but obviously all the river crossings, that's a bit of a no-brainer. But here's my bike we just passed, my tent, Josh's bike. These are all the things I'm trying to drive, and they're the same clothes every single day. Just trying to dry them, they just absolutely stink. We're going to try and have a campfire here. Got the chair set up, we've got a bit of wood, but the wood's a little bit of that sort of real airy fairy driftwood that probably won't burn, but we're going to see how we go. And there's Josh down here at the mighty Pasco doing some drone work. So me and Josh are having our potential last, I guess, Mother Nature bath. Josh is sitting right here out of the screen, doesn't want to get in there. And I'll show him in a second. But yeah, this might be the last real we have a chance to sit in, and it's the mighty Pasco. We've done a bit of a croc check, and we're sitting on a little rock island, so it's pretty safe here. But it's been a tough day, but we've ticked off the old telly track, we've ticked off the Frenchmans, we've been to the tip, so we've done everything we wanted to do so far. So so far we cannot complain. I've broken a few things on my bike. I've got no indicators. I've got a license plate hanging on for dear life. I've snapped off the strap on my panniers, but you know what? I'm in here now. We're bathing. We're getting rid of some stench. And it's a pretty bloody good camp spot, that's for sure. There's Josh, just in case everyone thinks I'm here on my own. He's trying to hide from the camera. He's loving life.
Not hiding.
You need to, you got on your neck heaps of, yeah, that needs to be rubbed. So this is what we're here for, helping each other out. But yeah, it's been a tough day. but it's all worthwhile in the end, so we're pretty keen to push on in the morning and make our way to Maytown, the Maytown ruins. That's going to be sick. Good morning everybody, we're on morning 7, we're over halfway on our trip. We've just packed up camp, done some running repairs on the bikes. They're both running well, a bit of an oil top up, all good. And now we're just going to head to Portland's Road and back on the PDR effectively. And the goal today is to make it to Laura, about 400 kilometres away, and then hopefully get there around 1 PM. We'll just smash that out, and then hopefully we can start chipping away at the old coach road and get into Maytown. Whereabouts in Maytown, I've got no idea. Wasn't aware we had a crossing here. Don't get wet boots, I just dried them. Oh, nice, nice. Ah, beautiful. Here comes Josh. His boots are also dry. It's a good sight, isn't it? It's a good sight seeing a motorbike get through a river. Doesn't matter how it's done, you just got to get through it. Whilst I get to the end of Portland's Road, if anyone's doing the tip anytime soon, and you're worried like I was about the Frenchman's Track, because that's what I was sort of really going, ooh, can we do it? There's a lot of hype behind it, but 100%, as long as it hasn't rained heaps, give Portland's Road a go, Drug Runners Road, and then onto the Frenchman's Track with that, I don't know if it's a new bypass, but going through the Pasco we did, I think it's just so enjoyable, so much easier is what I would say. But 100%, put it into your itinerary and just lock it in. You will not regret it. Very least, if you get to the Pasco, you can always turn around, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Another worthwhile note for others that are doing a similar trip, Josh and I have effectively drunk out of every river, minus a handful here and there, as we passed them, and haven't filtered any of the water. We only filtered one bit of water, and that's because it was in a bit of a stagnant sort of area and we weren't sure if we were going to run out. But otherwise we've just been drinking, filling up straight from most of the creeks here, so that's so good to know. The only other time I've ever done that is up in the high country, and a couple of times in the Blue Mountains at some really high points. But yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about filtering your water. Just chuck a bottle in there and go for it. Easy as, you don't have to buy any water. Me and Josh were just about to jump on the PDR again, and we came across this little twin track that might save us about 4 kilometres in distance, probably losing time, but yeah, a little bit of fun, why not? It only just came up the maps at the very last second, so hopefully it's going to pay off and break up the high speed stuff for us. We're just running parallel to the PDR, which is on our right. But yeah, lots of little tight corners and big old potholes. This is so cool. We're dead set doing some single trail stuff when we're meant to be on the PDR. Josh and I are just lapping it up. It's only going to be a short-lived track. I don't know how this track is on my maps as a solid line, yet the Pasco track, the Drug Runners track, doesn't exist at all, and that was the main track. So yeah, you gotta love mapping. Oh, just as we suspected. Oh no, it's a dead end.
Can I open it? Or do you want to just go back?
Oh, well, we've got what, another 6k.
Looks like it's used by bikes a fair bit.
Yeah. Okay. My little, oh, here we go. Oh no, 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 no. Is it open? Please be open, please be open. Oh, it looks like you can go around there anyway. Oh, sick. It paid off. How good. The harsh reality of a Cape York trip is at some point, for so many kilometres, it's unavoidable. The amount of kilometres can change for people, but you have to hit the PDR and you have to have the dust. It is just brutal. So that was the worst experience of my life on a bit of dirt road. I absolutely hated it. We're at Musgrave, but it was just atrocious. So many cars that passed and whatnot. But I want to see what Josh says about it, because he's rocked up too now. But let's see. Here he is. He's doing some filming, but I'll be keen to see what his attitude is about that 50 kilometre stretch of rubbish.
What's up?
Was that just the worst experience of your life?
Yeah, it's up there.
Do you reckon that was the worst bit of dirt track I've had so far?
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was shit house.
That was so shit.
I hope we never ever have to do that again. That PDR can just go and jam itself for now. Oh mate.
I got stuck behind so many cars I just couldn't see, couldn't get around them.
What's my radiator looking like in there? She's alright. Yeah, so as you just saw by Josh and I's reaction, that stretch from Cowan to Musgrave, when you hit the dirt sections, that is by far the worst we've had it on the whole trip. It was just absolute torture. The cars aren't going quite fast enough, so you've got to overtake them, otherwise it's too bouncy. But when you pull up behind them, you're just holding on for your dear life, and you just really got to, you're going blind effectively. Anyone that's ridden up here probably knows what I'm talking about, but it's a new experience for me, and it's one I don't want to bloody revisit anytime soon. Very, very dangerous, but also at the same time kind of like a must-do thing, is just punch it around these cars. Some slow down for you, some probably speed up because they don't want you to pass them. Who knows what the story is, but I'm glad that's over. We've still got some dirt now to Laura, but I don't think it's going to be as dusty, and then hopefully the dusty days are behind us from what we've just experienced. But it's the hottest it's been so far, 32 degrees at the moment, and you can certainly feel it with no access to jumping in rivers anymore. So when I sit behind Josh like this, and yeah, he's not a small dude, he's definitely bigger than average with his bike fully loaded up. It's not the fullest it's been, but the poor bike just, you can tell it's working hard. I'd hate to see, if he looks like that, what do I look like on my bike? Because I'm a few inches taller than him. But I tell you what, I've been watching this bike go through hell. He's done lots of rides, I've done lots of rides, so I know what the bikes go through, and they just keep on ticking along. So definitely credit to the mighty Suzuki DRZ400E Aussie E for that fact too. Beauty of a bike. So we've just refilled up at the town of Laura, and just spoke to a local and said that the little Laura River is about 25 kilometres down the old coach road. So further than I thought, but he said there's plenty of water for a shower, but not recommended for drinking because it's so warm, but we can filter it. And thanks for the info, so hopefully that is correct, because if there is no water there, because another person said it's dry, if there is no water there, we're going to come back, and there are a couple of single rooms available, so we can have a shower and a bath and whatnot, because we're just putrid. But hopefully the river will do it, and we'll shortly find out. Here it is, Little Laura River. That will 100% do me. If we cross now, we can set up over there. Now I must give a shout out to a channel called Shadow of 75. He doesn't know me, I don't know him. That's one of the handful of channels I do watch, and I would not have known about this location if it wasn't for him. I think they were sitting up there. But this is fantastic. It's a great place to stop for us, and that's why sometimes it's just great to get some pointers off other channels. I can't see what I'm doing, the sun's in my eye. But yeah, it's just fantastic, and this location will work just perfectly. So I just did a time lapse on my setup. In actual time it was about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, including setting up a chair and taking a few things off my bike. So me and Josh are getting pretty bloody good at setting up and packing up. This is our 7th night, our 6th night camping, and we're going to do a lot more camping still, because this actually is our halfway point. But I thought I'd just show you how I look, because poor Josh, who only really met me a week ago, he has to see me wearing this most of the time. Just me and my undies and my camo hat with some rubbish shoes.
I'm traumatized.
Josh just yelled out that he's traumatized, but he's also very, very motivated. He's inspired to get fit. No, he's doing really, really well. So this is our setup. We're loving it. We're gonna go have a swim now, and that'll be the end of night number 7.